When it comes to countermeasures, China means what it says. China issued tariff increase notices to 30 countries. The EU sent signals begging for leniency, but to little effect, as China's stance was clear.
Hello everyone, I'm Quan. Welcome to Global Express.
On June 30th, the Ministry of Commerce announced anti-dumping duties on stainless steel billets and related products from the EU, UK, South Korea, and Indonesia will continue for 5 years, implemented July 1st. Analysts believe the Ministry of Commerce's move aims to safeguard domestic industries, promote sustainable development, and prevent dumping by certain countries against China. As early as last November, the UK announced it would maintain anti-dumping measures on Chinese steel wire ropes and cables, with a tax rate as high as 60.4% for 5 years. This March, Indonesia also announced a 4-year anti-dumping duty on Chinese nylon films. The tax can be as high as 31,500 Indonesian rupiah per kilogram, nearly 14 renminbi. Subsequently, on May 28, the European Union announced anti-dumping duties on Chinese tinplate products, with rates up to 62%. On June 26, South Korea also stated it would impose a 5-year anti-dumping duty on fixed stainless steel plates imported from China. The tax rate reaches 21.62%. This shows that, as the global economy is deeply shrouded in recession, trade protectionism is on the rise, increasing trade friction. These countries' taxes on China highlight severe challenges Chinese products face internationally. In response, China's stance is clear. It opposes unreasonable trade protectionist measures. For example, after the EU sanctioned China, China explicitly stated the EU's measures lack sufficient basis and are blatant trade protectionism. The Ministry of Commerce noted these actions' essence is concern for their own products. They use competitiveness as an excuse to smear China. Actions will only trip themselves up and cannot stop China's progress. In addition to making its position clear, China is defending its interests through concrete actions. This time, China imposing additional tariffs on 30 countries is best proof. This move sends a clear message. When faced with unreasonable external infringements, China will respond with countermeasures and take necessary steps to defend its interests. It is worth noting that, against the backdrop of China's countermeasures, the EU's intention to use tariffs to pressure China into resolving the rare earth issue has already. On June 25th, the EU ambassador to China, Jorge Toledo, publicly signaled surrender, asking China to resolve European rare earth magnet exports in July. Toledo claimed European companies' fear and concern regarding rare earth issues and key raw material shortages severely impact European businesses. However, in July, instead of good news on rare earth magnets, Toledo received a notice from China about increased tariffs. China recently approved compliant rare earth export applications, but the EU remains unsatisfied. They are hyping the China threat using rare earth, calling for de-risking. This false narrative of portraying themselves as victims impacts China-EU economic and trade relations. Some analysts believe rare earths should bond China and the EU, not hinder cooperation. If the EU wants more rare earths, it should apply to China per laws and regulations and peacefully consult to resolve differences. Instead of baseless accusations and attacks against China, Trump loudly promoted his plan to